Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today it's like deja vu. And no, not the strip club. We have another Battlezone set. What the heck? Okay, yeah, we got another Battlezone set and I'm just checking some of the voltages. Let me grab this ground. Kinda. Okay. So we've got 5 volts on the 5-volt rail. Up here we have plus 15. We have negative 15. And for the DACs we have nothing. This regulator, 5-volt regulator, we have an input of 23 volts. That's 22 volt coming in. This board accepts 22 and negative 22 volts, and those are regulated through these regulators to various voltages. So we have 23 going into that, and coming out we have nothing. That's a big drop from 23 volts down to 5 to regulate on this. And this thing, I made the mistake of touching it. It is flaming hot. So we have a shorted regulator. And it was just a dot on the screen. There's nothing going on. So we got no voltage to our DACs. So, like the other board, the other Battlezone board set, this is kind of something I'm doing from now on when it comes to these earlier Atari vectors, is I am not going to ask the 5-volt regulator to drop 23 volts down to 5 volts. That creates a ton of heat. So I am simply going to jump from the rail, the 5-volt rail, over to the output pin of the 5-volt regulator, and we're going to run that off of the logic 5 volts from the AR. That way we do not have to stress out that little 5-volt regulator, because that is just a big drop. So I'm not dealing with that. So I'll do that. I'll replace the 15 and the negative 15 regulator. Do a little maintenance. I got to look at these and make sure that these are looking decent. Of course, we've got problems here with these sockets. But, yeah, so first things first. First things first. Go ahead and take this off. I should probably replace that socket, just in case we need to fluke this thing. This one's got some jumpers. Obviously it's a bad socket, so I think I'll just replace this socket. You know what? While I'm at it, I might as well replace all of the sockets. So all right. Okay, I have replaced all of the EEPROMs and the CPU sockets, and I've gone ahead and put a known good row of ROMs in this board. I've got the work done up here. I'm just running 5 volts to the DACs. And I got my negative and positive 15 volt regulators replaced. I replaced the tantalum cap that likes to explode. And I've got it turned on. We get nothing, but I've got it in test, and it does give me something. One low and one high. Now I am suspecting that this is no good because this is flaming hot. This ROM right here, I'm going to say, is probably no good. They are not supposed to be that hot. So I think I'm going to dig up some good vector ROMs for Battlezone, pop them in here, and see what we get. Okay, I've put in known good vector ROMs, and same thing. So I think it's time for the fluke. Okay, got the fluke out and I'm checking RAM. I've already found one bad one right here. That is in the CPU's program RAM. And I found one bad vector RAM right there. I'm actually running a test. And now it has passed. I will remove this and rerun the test. And pretty soon it's going to fail. There you go. Loop it. And I'll just jump it around until it straightened out, and it's this one. And then you can actually go right through the test. But I will remove it and let it fail. So we got two bad RAMs. Those two guys need to be replaced. And I'll do ROM checks. Make sure I can read these ROMs. And I can put the original ROMs in too, where applicable. Alright, so I've gone through all of the ROMs, and yes, this one was bad, and this is the one that is in my other set. I think I'm just going to burn a new one and keep this with my other set. And this one right here, H1, had broken legs on it and had wires jumped down to the board. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to replace it. So we need two ROMs and two RAMs. Okay, I got the new programmed ROM here and a new ROM here. Those are the two new ROMs. I've got it on. It's doing something. The bip pot for the X circuit is broken. I need to replace that. So it's going to be goofy. And it's goofy. It's definitely goofy. Let's try to run this thing. Okay, that doesn't make much sense. Something weird going on, huh? Yeah, I need to replace this first off. We got a lot of weirdness over here. Well, not really. Okay, yeah, we might have some weirdness here. All right, interesting stuff. I'd like to go ahead and replace this, get that right. I do not want to put this over on the vector monitor. Yeah, something weird's going on. I replaced those two RAM. Weird. All right, yeah. Okay, I did decide to go ahead and put it over on the vector monitor, and this is what it's doing. It is a good score. I just got done playing, and that's my high score. Well, I just finished another game. See if you can beat my score. What is that, 79 million? I'll give you $1,000 if you can beat my score. All right, yeah, we got some junk going on. This is we got digital issues, so we actually get to hunt down some digital problems here. This I do need to replace. And we'll be able to start poking around on this thing and figure out what's going on. Do the old heat test. The heat feel test. Ouch. All right, yeah. I'll be back. All right, I'm back out at the Battlezone. And I got it in test. And if I move this, no, it's not in test. I put it in test. You can see over here, this is telling me something. And that looks like an L and an H to me. It's hard to see it in the camera's viewfinder, but it looks like an L and an H, which would signify to me L and H means we got a failure on this math box. More likely, I think we have a failure communicating with the math box. And if you remember, I was touching these chips earlier and I was like, wow, that one's hot. This one is very hot. It's a 245 that interfaces between the two boards. And if I take a 245 and kind of jump over it, it definitely makes a difference. Especially if I have it out of test. And I jump this over it. You can see every now and again see how it's making a difference over here? And another giveaway is it's starting with that music. And that music is over here. So I think this thing is just doing whatever it wants to do at startup. It's not getting any direction from this board. So I think this chip is bad. And it is hot. So I'm going to replace that chip right there. Okay, well, I changed that part over here, that 245, and I was getting the exact same thing. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put the fluke back on this and go back over everything. And lo and behold, this ROM that I programmed was no good. Right here. So I put a known good one in it. And now I'm getting a good signature. Ridiculous. Let's try running it. No. I don't suppose the fluke can run this. It's not doing anything. So I'm just going to continue. I'm going to double check these EPROMs, the RAMs and everything. Hey, yeah. With the good A3 vector ROM in the board, I got it turned on and it's running. It's goofed up now because of, but it's running, it's working. But I have to replace this pot, of course, the BIP pot. And then we should be good to go. So I'll go ahead and do that. Replace that pot. We'll dial in these pots. Make it look the way it should. And we should be good to go. Yeah, all over a bad ROM. And I just wasn't thinking that because I had programmed one, but I obviously programmed it with the wrong file because I just copied a ROM that I suspected was good. So I assumed, and you know what that does. You know what assuming, you know. Anyway. Yeah, so I think I'll just leave this ROM in here. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we are running. Still a problem. But I have found this problem. See how it's kind of fadey? Still need to adjust it a little bit. I put a 200 ohm pot in. This is the only form factor. This is the only one I had, so it is what it is. Now, when I was doing my original just probing around, I came across this 399, which is kind of almost a cross between a 175 and a 157. It's a mux, but it's a latch. It's kind of weird. $3.99. And I came across this chip and I did not like the outputs, so I put a red dot on it. And if I jump over this chip, you'll see it comes, the board comes to life. See that? How it looks normal now. And if I remove it, see it just kind of dies out. Yeah, $3.99. $3.99. Let's take a look at $3.99. We'll get there. Here we go. Okay, it's a word select. So it selects between two 4-bit words. And it'll select either the high word or the low word, right? Word up. Now, I want to hook up the little scope and show you what I saw. Let me get that all situated and we'll come back and take a look at this thing and I'll show you what I saw. Okay, so here's our chip right here. We have word select. So we have some selecting going on. Let's just look at the outputs. Pin 2 and 7. 2 and 7. And mind you, this is not a tri-stated part. This is not an open collector part. Now we have 10 and 15. 10 and 15. The 15 is almost driving high. Yeah, so this one's just got bad outputs. Weak outputs. So let's go ahead and replace that guy. And this board will be good to go. Okay, replaced that 399 and cleaned up the back side of this board a bit. And we are now looking A-OK perfect. Oop, I gotta move the X bip a little bit. Just a touch. But it looks really good. We'll do a play test to make sure everything sounds right and plays right. And we'll wrap this one up. Okay, we're ready. That sound, the pitch is way off. It's got a pop. Oh, that's not fair. That is a successful play test. All right. Battlezone. Zone of battle. There you go. Battlezone. Had a bad ROM here, a bad ROM here. 2 RAMs. 399 was bad. Had a broken pot here. The -5 regulator was dead. And we just did this mod to run the DACs and stuff off of the regular 5 volts. Because that's just that's a big ask to drop 24 volts down to 5 on that little regulator. Really heats it up. Better this way's better. I replaced this 245, but it was not bad. That's about it. Cleaned it up a bit. Changed the sockets. I replaced all of these sockets. And replaced these two 15-volt regulators, negative and positive. The exploding cap. And that's really all you need to do to fix your Battlezone. That's all it takes. I want to thank everybody for watching. As always, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I hear that helps the algorithm. I don't know how it works, but I'm gonna ask that you like and subscribe anyway, and let's experiment. Will it actually help? I don't know. Check me out over on Patreon. Patreon.com/ClassicArcadeRepairs. Channel memberships are always available. If you like this kind of content and want to help support the curation of all of these old classics and keep the content rolling, I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. And as always, we'll see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Bye for now.